Hello, this is Sir Frost, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to build an icosahedron. First I place the main node, then I place the structural fuselage, because it has a low mass to length ratio and a low mass to strength ratio, which eliminates the need for struts, which keeps my part count down. I want to set this to 5 times symmetry. 5 times symmetry is not included in the stock version of the game. So I installed a mod called Editor Extension Redux to get the 5 times symmetry that I need. I start off with straight arms and then I work with the aesthetics later. I work with the senior docking ports since they are more stable. I'm only going to rotate the part that is next to the main node. The rotation is going to be around 30 degrees, but it doesn't have to be exact, because I will show you how to manually adjust it later. The angles look good. To reproduce the main part, I add a part in 1 times symmetry to one side of the construction. I then reroute, so this part is the main node of the vessel. And then I could break off the part I want to use. And then I revert by using the Ctrl-Z. I attach this part to the docking port aligned with the vehicle assembly building. In 5 times symmetry, only one port is aligned with the vehicle assembly building. I attach the part with the symmetry turned on, and I see that the docking ports need to get a little bit closer. I rotate the same part as before, and I rotate it by an amount that corresponds to half the distance between these docking ports. This is a tedious process, and I have to repeat it many times. I'm very close now, but I need to get a little bit closer, so I rotate the part one more time. Now the ports are very close together, but I want you to notice that the distance at the top is slightly greater than the distance at the bottom. This phenomenon is caused by Kerbal Space Program working with discrete angles. I would like to see an angle mod that allows for greater precision with angular placement. I'm going to launch this now to see if the docking ports connect to each other. Here I ran into a slight problem. I can't check if the docking ports are aligned since I'm not having a command module on the craft. I'm back and I have placed a command module on the craft. I now proceed to check if the docking ports are docked. The fact that all docking ports are docked means that the angles are within an acceptable range. It is a good idea to save this design, because if you got the correct angles, you don't have to do the adjustment again. The only thing that matters for this design to be working is that the angles of the docking ports don't change. Here I will offset the docking port to illustrate that the position of the docking port does not matter. As you can see, the docking ports are still aligned. I now proceed to rotate the position of the arms, but I keep the angle of the docking port the same. And everything still lines up. I straighten the arms again and make the arms longer, and the docking ports will still be lined up. You can always do as I did in the station I got as a picture on the wall, and create an even arc to create the illusion of a sphere. I will now place this on the launch pad to show that the connections hold even for a larger structure. Let's see, the docking ports hold, but it's slightly too big for the launch pad. I could actually see use of this design as a surface structure. This design is unfortunately not without its flaws. If I want to make an entire icosahedron, I could keep building with the same technique. I place this thing on the arm that is aligned with the vehicle assembly building, and then I add a part to one of the opposing arms, and then I proceed as before. The icosahedron is almost complete, but there's missing a piece at the bottom. I never get the hang of the rotation with the rotate keys. As you can see now, the docking ports are way off. There is no chance to get these to dock automatically, since the offset is too great. You could manually balance this offset with the move tool and could get a decent result. To avoid this issue, I have chosen to assemble the craft in orbit, with great success. I launched the station in 2 parts, then I simultaneously dock 10 pairs of docking ports in orbit. I now save this craft and go to the craft I used in my other video, the Ball 6 Test 2. The name is an indication of how long time it took to get to this design. As you can see, I have curved the arms so it forms a gentle arc by rotating the same amount each time. The launch vehicle is mounted in a way that it's only attached to the docking ports, and no struts are connected to the structure to avoid marks left on the design. The spiky thing in the middle is a control node. There is an RCS thruster pack at the bottom of the control node attached to the tail connector. The reason for this is to have the RCS in the middle of the craft at the center of mass. The control node itself is designed to be detachable. That is all I had to say about creating an icosahedron in Kerbal Space Program. Please check out my other video showing how I dock this in space. And now for a showcase of what you could build with this technique. In this design I made a wobbly arm thing and made it absolutely humongous, and it still works. And in this design I decided to rotate in another way to create a spiral effect. And this is another picture of that same design. And then I made this awesome design based on the last experiment. and it's a spiral design, creating an almost steampunk look. And this will definitely be in my space station designs in the future. That's all for me. Please comment if you like this video.